Hey there, and welcome back to my channel, Blue Nose Trading. My name is Tori Solis, and today I'm working on a series of thumblers, thumb tumblers, dimple cups. You know, those cups with the nice spot that you put your thumb to grip when you hold them. They are one of my favorite types of cups to use. The grip that you get from that thumb indent is so comfortable. I'm making about hopefully 30 of these using my Studio Reclaim. My Studio Reclaim for this is a mix of about maybe 6 or so different Cone 6 clays. Just off the top of my head, I know this bucket has Trinity White Stoneware, Trinity Terracotta, Trinity Spectacular, Trinity Mocha Loca, and some Laguna Speckled Buff, and probably a little bit of my Amoco Buff number 46 as well. I know it's going to have speckles, and it's probably going to be some kind of like brownish color of clay. After wedging the Reclaim, I measured out these balls that weighed about 1 pound and 4 ounces each. The clay was really soft, which is kind of normal for Reclaim, and that was good and bad. It was super easy to center, but it really couldn't take a whole lot of water while I was throwing, or abuse, so I did end up flopping a couple of these pieces in the process. When I was throwing these, I was trying really hard to throw a shape that I wanted like on the wheel, so I didn't need to trim as much later. I would say I did alright with definite room for improvement. One of the trickiest parts of making these was getting the rims perfectly round again after adding that thumb impression on the side. I opted for compressing the rim with a chamois after I added the dimple. For the most part, it worked out pretty well, but a few still reverted back to their not perfectly round states in the firing, which I kind of found annoying personally, but so far, most people have found it endearing, and I guess it goes to show that we're always going to be our harshest critics most of the time, but it would be ideal if I could get them to not warp, in my own opinion. When I started this project, I wanted to try to make a lot of the same thing, more or less. It was a personal test for myself to see how quickly I could produce this many pieces. The shape I was going for was slightly variable. I wasn't being super strict. I haven't made a ton of these prior to this, so I was experimenting with a few different form ideas to see what felt best in the end in your hand. So there are slight variations of width and height in these, and that makes it where the cup shape kind of can fit into any hand. Walking up and picking these up until you find the right one that feels just right for your hand has really added to the in-person experience of these tumblers. The trimming on these was very minimal. I wanted the bottoms to be rounded out and then flat. For most of my mugs and other forms, I usually give it a foot ring, but I felt like trying something different here. A lot of my potter friends make these smooth flat bottoms in their work, and I thought that for this particular form that was a pretty interesting design choice, so I went with just the flat bottoms with the name stamp in the bottom. But I'm probably going to keep putting foot rings on most of my other forms. I don't think it's going to be a habit. It was just a choice for this particular series of work. And it really just depends. I do like how these ones came out though with the flat bottoms. After the bisque, when these were ready for glaze, I glazed them mostly with my Mako Stroke and Coat glazes. I had quite a few colors, so I decided to make like 2 of every color to see how they turned out. The inside of these are just a bunch of the cream breaking rust, which has become part of my mainline glaze for me, but these all have a little bit of variation because I was experimenting with how much red iron oxide I wanted to put in my cream breaking rust, so I had like probably 6 offhand jars of different cream breaking rust with the slightest variations of iron oxide in them, so I use that as the liner for these, so they're maybe just a little different. But it's really nice. I mean, they're mostly consistent, and they're for the market, not a custom order, so it's all good. I was aiming to create like a sensory experience between smooth and gritty, so after the firing I did lightly sand down all the parts of these cups that weren't glazed with a diamond sanding pad. I wanted the raw parts to feel slightly gritty compared to the glossy surface of the glazed parts, but not so rough and unappealing to touch that you don't want to hold the cup. That's not the goal. It has to be just a little bit rough, but smooth enough to be nice. On the inside and the thumb dimples are the only places I glazed these. The inside I glazed for the ease of cleaning, and I glazed the dimple circle for a few reasons. First off, it's stylish and fantastic, and second, I wanted the thumb indent to be a smooth spot that you could rub your finger over while you contemplate the meaning of existence over a beverage. These tumblers are perfect wine glasses. I personally like to use the one I kept for myself to drink fancy apple juice, but I've gotten feedback that these are great for wine. I imagine they're also really great for tea, water, and any manner of beverages because they're cups. But you know, cups. When all was said and done, I ended up with about 40 Thumblers, which honestly didn't feel like as many as it felt like when I was making them. These are going to be the base of my stock for my holiday market season this year. I'm really excited to see how people react when they're picking them up to find the most comfortable fit for their hand. I'm also hoping to get a lot of feedback on what shapes people tend to enjoy most so I can work towards tightening up my form for these into something a little more consistent. If you are seeing this the week that it comes out, I'm doing a holiday giveaway for my newsletter subscribers. This year I'm going to be sending out a gift package with a random pot, a sticker, and a handmade necklace in it. The last day to sign up for the 2022 holiday giveaway is December 18th, 2022. If you're seeing this after the 18th, it's not a bad idea to sign up anyway, because when I do any sort of giveaway, it's always pulled from someone from my subscribe email list, and if you're already on my mailing list, you're always going to be entered into every giveaway that I have. Oh, and I think it's also important to mention that I only send one email on the first of the month. No one wants spam, and I'm not going to waste my time writing or sending out spam emails. Spam emails are a net negative in the universe, so if you sign up for my mailing list, I will be respectful of your inbox. On the first of the month, sometimes the second if I don't have my life completely together, I send out an update that highlights what projects I'm currently working on and what markets, events, or shows I have for that upcoming month. For weekly art videos, you can subscribe to my channel, Blue Nose Trading on YouTube. I release a short video almost daily and a full-length video every Friday afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. Remember to drink lots of water, talk frequently to the people closest to you, and go for a walk when you can. And I will see you guys next week.